At the peak of his powers, he turned his haters into his biggest fans. Ronaldinho was so good at Barcelona that the world couldn't resist. He had fans all over the globe, and it's crazy to think he did all of this while carrying the biggest heartbreak of all time. See guys, Ronaldinho's journey to the top wasn't as straightforward as it might seem. He came from nothing. Born in Porto Alegre in Rio, Brazil, Ronaldinho, along with his brother Roberto de Assis, his dad João de Assis, and his mom Dona Magdalena all had to struggle from early on. Despite all of that hardship, Ronaldinho didn't quit. Initially, it was his brother's dream to go pro until the day it all changed for Ronaldinho and his family. After their dad died, his brother decided to step back for Ronaldinho to pursue football, and from that moment on, it became his life's goal to make it in the sport. After making his debut with Grêmio, it was clear the kid had talent. I mean, he was 17 when he made his Copa Libertadores debut. That's the European equivalent of the Champions League. Signs that he was going to be special. By 1999, Ronaldinho's performances had caught the eye of the big teams in Europe. They all wanted him. Initially, Arsenal was the club rumored to sign him, but in the end, Ronaldinho made the move to Paris. He signed a 5-year contract with PSG for a fee of 5 million euros, with 13 goals and 7 assists in 40 games. Not bad, but anyone who's ever watched Ronaldinho play knows his game has never been about the numbers. Special performances like this had PSG fans turning up to see him every week, and though the head coach at the time, Luis Fernandes, complained about his lack of commitment to the club, it didn't matter much because he was entertaining every week. In total, he played 77 times for PSG with 25 goals and 17 assists. But in the year 2003, Ronaldinho was on the move again, and this, guys, is the moment we've been building up to. Another English club was after Ronaldinho. This time it was Manchester United, who were trying to replace David Beckham, and so they thought Ronaldinho would be the perfect replacement. Couldn't blame them too, especially off the back of what he had done to England in 2002. That goal helped Brazil advance to the semi-finals of the World Cup, and in the end, he played his part in helping Brazil become 5-time champions of the world. Still though, back to the club football scene, and Ronaldinho chose Barcelona. In his first season for Barcelona, Ronaldinho didn't just bring flair and skills to Nou Camp, he improved his performances as well. With 22 goals and 11 assists in 45 games for Barcelona, pretty decent numbers. But he was still only warming up. The 2004-05 season, and this was where it was at for Ronaldinho, special for a lot of reasons. First off, he was coming from the back of what should have been a disappointment. Brazil won the Copa America in 2004, but Ronaldinho wasn't a part of the team. And it almost felt as if he took the disappointment of missing out on the tournament into his 2004-05 season. 13 goals and 17 assists in 42 games, that's 30 goal contributions in total that season, along with some special moments too. What Joe Cole said here is the truth.
I played in this game. I've never seen a stadium silent.
It made Stamford Bridge go silent with one of the most jaw-breaking goals of all time. At the end of the year, the way FIFA saw it, there was no one more deserving of the award. The FIFA World Best Player of the Year award for 2004, just before the season ended, Ronaldinho still had another special piece of history he'd become a part of. At the time, Lionel Messi was just a 16-year-old trying to make his way into the game, and Ronaldinho here had just given him his first goal for Barcelona with an assist. Messi himself never forgets because he knows what Ronaldinho did for him. Special, and it only got better from this moment on because in the 2005-06 season, Ronaldinho peaked. From a numbers angle, it was the best one of his career, which makes a whole load of sense considering he was equally playing the best football of his career at that point. With 26 goals and 24 assists in 45 games for Barcelona and 50 goal contributions, Ronaldinho was undoubtedly the best player in the world. No one came close. The stuff he was doing to that point was ridiculous, and this was both on and off the pitch. Ronaldinho's commercial with Nike became the first video to hit 1 million views on YouTube, a success both on and off the pitch. That season too, Ronaldinho made history with Barcelona. He played a key role in helping Barcelona win the Champions League that year with 12 goal contributions in 12 games. La Liga? They were champions as well, but Ronaldinho's two biggest moments of the season still hit hard, and you'll find out about them soon enough. But first, see that subscribe button to Total Footy? Click it so you never miss any of the action. At the end of 2005, midway through the 2005 and 6 season, Ronaldinho was officially crowned as the best player on the planet. He won his first and only Ballon d'Or. Incredible! The performances were worth it, and more so, his work on the club in general. There is a reason guys like Dohan still refer to Ronaldinho as the greatest player of all time, and it's what he did for the new camp that stands out. See guys, before Ronaldinho's arrival, Barcelona was in a dark place. They struggled to completely match ticket sales, not a lot of people associated with the team, and combined with the fact that they weren't winning as many games, it was a relatively low period for the club, especially when in Spain, Real Madrid had continued to dominate. Ronaldinho's arrival transformed the fortunes of the club. Suddenly more fans were in attendance, and that's because they wanted to see the magic he could pull off on a weekly basis. He had now become the best player in the world and was helping them compete with their biggest rivals. And it didn't get any better than the day Ronaldinho transformed enemy turf into his playground. The 19th of November 2005, a day both Ronaldinho, Real Madrid and Barcelona would never forget. To say what he did that night was groundbreaking would be an understatement. The Real Madrid defense quite simply couldn't keep up with him. In fact, the Madrid team in general. And we're talking about a team that had the likes of Roberto Carlos, Sergio Ramos, Zinedine Zidane, David Beckham, Ronaldo Nazario, Raul, Guti, all these guys played, and yet Ronaldinho became the highlight. It never happened before that Real Madrid fans would be giving a standing ovation to a player that wasn't their own. Not to talk of one from Barcelona, ridiculous, and yet that was Ronaldinho's reality. In that moment, Ronaldinho had proven a point. Just watching the burn of that's what Ronaldinho continued to do almost every game. He became the main man at the club. Kids from the academy at La Masia like Messi looked up to him. Add this to the fact that he was a starter for a packed Brazilian national team, and at that peak of his ability, Ronaldinho was a cut above everyone else. In his final 2 seasons at the club, it didn't quite go according to plan. Injuries played a part in this, and by 2008, after the club finished trophyless that season, Ronaldinho and Barcelona came to a difficult point. The club refused to renew his contract after the newly appointed manager Pep Guardiola refused it. Ronaldinho was off to AC Milan from that point on, bringing his incredible Barcelona career to an end. But yet, the stuff he did still lives on. 70 goals and 50 assists in 145 games for Barcelona, which is also another crazy thing about Ronaldinho. The general belief is that he only focused on the skills and dribbles and generally lacked end product. But as his Barcelona career shows, at the peak of his abilities, Ronaldinho put up insane numbers. 145 games, 120 goal contributions, he was averaging a goal and an assist every other game for Barcelona. The thing is, we live in a football era now that sees the game based on how efficient players are, goals and assists, and that's why for the last decade, it was these two who dominated the game. Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, they became household names in the game because of the numbers they put up every season. But the truth is, if you ask the average football fan who watched the game as it became more popularized in the 2000s, the answers would more often than not but Ronaldinho. And that's because some of the things he did hasn't been repeated to this day. Imagine pulling off an assist with your back in a professional game. Incredible! Ronaldinho's career didn't quite end the way he would have hoped it would. On one hand, he passed the torch to the guy who would later become the GOAT. Messi took on his number 10 jersey and became an entirely different player. After AC Milan, Ronaldinho had stints in Brazil playing for the likes of Flamengo, Fluminense and Querétaro, before eventually retiring in 2018. Things kind of took a bad turn for him when he even got arrested and did jail time. But even with all of this, football never turned on him, and that's because the period he spent at the top, especially at Barcelona, still lives in the minds of so many fans. If you enjoyed this video, let us know what you think in the comments below, and while you're at it, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel too. It helps us reach a wider audience.